Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. This is the show. This is the freaking Derek O'Shea Show. This is the show. This is his show. This is your show. This is the show. This is his show. This is our show. This is his show. Maybe we should just get started. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good, I guess. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the revolution. What's up there, guys? How's it going? How's everyone feeling? How are we doing? How are we getting in the chat? How are we feeling in the chat? How are we feeling in the chat? How are we doing today? I am currently live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Twitter, Facebooks, all the books. How are we doing? Get in the chat. Say shalom. Say hello. Say these things. Oh, Brendan, what up? What up? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, man, it's Tuesday. We got a lot of clips to get through. We got some, and I'm going to finish it off with just a little bit of Biden's speech today because there were so many clips from that speech that I'm like, why would I just clip it all up? Why don't we just watch it as a whole and laugh together? It's just ridiculousness. But how are we feeling? What is up, big dog? Big dog in the hizzy. All right. Shalom. Just blowing it up. I love it. Help me understand this, by the way, before we get started. Oh my God, I almost forgot my wig. I need to go get that wig. Hold on. Let me get that wig. I'll be right back. Hey guys, if you want to support my show, you gotta buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. I'd greatly appreciate it. You can support my show by $3 a month, be a member, or if you just want to give me some individual support, which I greatly appreciate, you can go ahead and do that down there, boy. I would greatly appreciate it. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. The guy sucks, but you should support him. Okay, I'm back. Hey, oh yeah, last time was great. I appreciate that. Good. It's what I want to hear. I hope the show's entertaining because that's literally the only reason I do this show is to be entertaining. I hope that my podcast, the wig is legendary. What do you mean? I hope my podcast is fun because if you're not having fun with this, I don't know what the point is. It's the best time ever. And plus I want my podcast to be something different. I feel like there's too many just serious all the time podcasts, and I want to be serious sometimes, but most of the time I just want to laugh. I just want to make fun of everything that's going on because it's just people are so wound up about everything, and there needs to be somebody to cut the butter. You know what I mean? Cut the butter. Because everyone's so serious. I just got through, I just went through a back and forth debate with some guy that did not like my Zelensky video. And immediately because of that, he decides that I am pro-Putin. Why is that the stance? What are we doing? Seriously. That's where our mind goes. It's you can't critique people. And then he started calling me a Trump supporter and stuff like that. I'm like, what makes me a Trump supporter? And he's like, did you vote for Trump? And I was like, yeah, because I think Biden's a piece of crap. And he's like, oh, you're a Trump supporter. These people have such a small mind when it comes to stuff in the world and everything that's going on in the world that it's kind of annoying, but it's just silly. I can't engage in a real debate with somebody who is going to call me an ultra MAGA or pro Putin. It's so stupid. Somebody asked me, and then somebody in the comments asked me if I was pro North Korea. What kind of stupid comment is that? To be pro North Korea? Because I said Zelensky being the key speaker for a national defense, little conference that has Lockheed and stuff like that, people like that all of a sudden I'm pro North Korea. this kind of logical connection it's just insane. People are so nuts nowadays. It's unreal. It really is unreal. And I just blocked him after a while because I'm just like, I can't entertain your psychosis of if you critique something that automatically means you're this, or if you say like this is not a good look, or my video for the Ukraine thing was that we have people in Jackson, Mississippi, and their politicians are talking about up to $1 billion being spent, and they're just saying that's like ridiculous, while we've given Ukraine $15 billion. And then we have like our inner cities are totally destroyed with open air drug use and just rampant crime, and people are just winking and nodding and just like, no, we just need to keep pouring more money in Ukraine. I'm like, have you not looked around in America lately? He was a bot, so they brainwashed. Yeah, they don't know how to think for them. They don't know how to think for themselves, and that's honestly a lot of the back and forth between me and the guy was just a lot of just narrative talk. And I'm like, am I talking to a human being right now, or am I talking to MSNBC talking points? Like, I want to talk to a human being right now, and and I'm here also to crash down on everyone's idols. Like this idea that we make some of these politicians to be these holier than thou figures is so ridiculous. Like they can't be blameless. And if you were to ever critique them or say like, I don't really agree with that, all of a sudden you're against them. It's just insane. Like, there's going to be some things about some politicians that I like that sometimes they do stuff. I'm like, I don't agree with that. Doesn't mean I'm not going to still vote for them or something. It's just, we just live in such a crazy time period and everyone's nuts. But speaking of crazy time periods, let's get right into some of the news. CPI came out today. Something to be excited about. Overall CPI is 8.3%. Great. Gas is up 25.6%. Fuel is up 68.8%. Electricity is up 15.8%. Groceries are up 13.5%. Meat, poultry, and fish are up 8.8%. Milk is up 17%. Eggs are up 39.8%. And I know that because I eat 4 eggs every single morning. Dear God, I need to stop. My cholesterol is through the roof. Baby food is up 12.6%. Airline fares are 33.4%. And average hourly earnings is down 2.8%.
Yeah, but you got a raise, so that's cool.
CPI. And then next we have, I saw this story being passed around. This is insane, crazy, and should be talked about every single place and every single where. This is from Reuters. Twitter whistleblower. Whoa. Sometimes you got to slow your roll. Slow down in life. Twitter whistleblower reveals employees concerned about China agent could collect user data. What? The FBI informed Twitter of at least one Chinese agent working at the company. U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley, such a great guy, said during a Senate hearing on Tuesday where a whistleblower testified, raising new concerns about a foreign meddling in the influential social media platform. So they're buying up land up near military bases and all our farmland and all our land and jacking up prices, and now they're infiltrating our companies because you got to have your woke Twitter, your quota. You can't just have it all. And then we have this too as well, where we have Senator Hawley talking to the Twitter whistleblower, talking about what I always like to talk about on this show is make sure you guys are running a VPN like I currently am right now, because people will find your IP address and they will find out where you live, and then they'll SWAT you because they're insane. I assume my days are numbered with swatting, but I make sure you take off tracking devices on all your photos, your geolocation device on your photos. If you haven't figured that out, look up a YouTube for that. Find a VPN. Even if it's free, it's better than nothing. Yes, it will make your internet a little bit slower. I pay for high-speed internet and still it goes down a little bit due to my VPN usage. But here's another point of the reason right here. As a Twitter whistleblower says over 4,000 employees have access to geolocation data and IP addresses. So, in case they're a far leftist who's just radical and insane and completely violent, they have your information. Don't you just love that? And it's not like somebody would get a job in a company like this just to find information, I don't know, on some of the bigger people in the play, like Tim Pool or Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro and stuff like that. And Derek O'Shea, huge guy, everywhere, all the time. I thought it was a GIF. What's up with that VPN shiz? VPN hides your IP address, so people can't track you, can't look you up, can't find out where you've been. I'm not a huge nerd, but but your IP address basically is like every time you go to a website, it pings on the website of like your computer has been there, and so if you track in. If you're looking up a lot of places, let's say in Washington, D.C., people can assume that this guy is probably in Washington, D.C. But here's Mr. Hawley right here. And again, I'm sure there's some nerd out there like,
Yeah, this guy has no idea what the heck he's saying.
so take it with a grain of salt. All I know is I talked to many internet security guys, and they said the first thing you have to do is have a VPN. If you don't have a VPN, I don't know what to tell you. All right, here we go. I use ExpressVPN. Maybe one day they'll be a sponsor of mine. Pretty good service. And here we go with Josh Hawley.
Got it. And that means that these 4,000-ish employees would have had access to live user data all over Twitter. They could access individual users' personal information, including their live data. Have I got that right?
Yes, sir. If they so they would have access to the production environment. If they spent the time to meander around and look around, they would find that they could access these large troves of data.
Including geolocation data? Did you testify to that earlier today?
I know that Twitter has IP locations and that they do use geolocation services based upon IP addresses.
Wow.
Yes, it makes it encrypted. Correct.
4,000 employees with access to that data. That's extraordinary. So those employees would be in a position then, if they wanted to get this information and dox Twitter users. Is that fair to say?
That is a concern of mine, sir, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a significant concern. 4,000 people with the ability to dox individual users who pick up the phone and use Twitter.
And people are trying to figure out, like, who are these people that are doxing people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, elected officials being doxed, being swatted. People like Tim Pool, and you saw the Quarterling, some of the big YouTubers like that, they've been swatted. People are trying to figure out, how does this happen? Well, maybe this is a perfect example of how easy it is and why you need to have a VPN, because yes, it makes it encrypted. It's just like when you go, I feel like my phone is listening to me. How did my phone know I was looking for chairs when I was talking? Oh, because they sell your data to everyone. Because if it's free, you're the product. Always remember that. If you're not paying for a service, email, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the service is, if you're not paying for it, you're the product. Always remember that. But a perfect example of making sure you know what's going on, take off geolocation on your phones. I had that on mine for so long before I started this podcast, and I learned, oh my God, that's like the first thing you got to take off, because sometimes when you take a picture of a home, you take a picture of a pizza place or whatever, there's like a little dot that goes, boop, this is where the picture was taken. And then you're like, oh, cool, I know where all my pictures are from. No, that's how they track you. And then somebody in the wrong hands will find out where you live. The end. Okay. All right, as we continue to go down the line. All right. Next story. Dude, I'm glad you like the line. Whose line is it anyways? I saw this today. A serious inflation problem. Top Obama economist sounds the alarm of the price of the White House as White House celebrates. Former Treasury Secretary and National Economic Council Director Lauren Summers warned on Tuesday that the United States still has a serious inflation problem. Yes, it is sketch. We do have a serious inflation problem. I mean, you are feeling it, I'm feeling it. And the Biden administration today had a celebration for the Inflation Reduction Act, which is just such a funny thing. And then I saw this today. Wow. All the conspiracy theorists everywhere are losing their minds. Clinton scourge prosecutor Ken Starr dies at 76 years old for complications from surgery in Houston Hospital decades after his investigation into the President Clinton's that gripped the nation. Hey, 4 people in the chat. Say what's up. So who's lurking? Yeah, I got a few people in the chat. Say what up. Say what up. Starr has reportedly been suffering a lengthy illness, but here is another person connected to investigating Clinton that is dead from a mysterious surge, like a mysterious event. If this doesn't make you go, okay, this is not even funny anymore. What the freak is going on? Like, do they just have an omen that if you do anything about the Clintons, that you're immediately gonna die? Okay, I'm just kidding. I didn't die. I just went. Stupid. That was a stupid joke. Clintons are coming back. Dude, they are coming back. Clintons are coming back. Hillary, I have a clip from Hillary today, actually, that I think is next. No, not yet. Somebody was, Trudeau's wife was asking Hillary Clinton about marriage advice. Just like, what the frick? Are you crazy? All right, here we go. Everyone was talking about this Dr. Phil day with a pro-lifer against pro-abortion conversation. So let's watch some of these clips and see how it's going. But get in the chat, tell me how you're doing. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you're watching, and also subscribe if you're new. Hit the subscribe button, boom, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Turdy has a wife. I always figured it was. Turdy does have a wife. Okay, here is Dr. Phil.
The predicate of your positions.
Pickles and Jars, how you doing?
Life begins at fertilization. That science is very clear about that. And you have to know science isn't, there's no consensus among the scientific community.
There is, Dr. Phil.
Oh my gosh.
96%
No, actually,
of
there's
scientists
not.
say that life begins at fertilization. If you're an in vitro specialist, you're looking to create
let me
a
finish.
single cell embryo, and then you know you have a new human life. So it is a scientific fact.
Well, actually, it's not.
Well, when do you say human life begins?
Oh my God, he's getting murdered. Wait a second. Dr. Phil getting murdered over here. Actually, the science. Dr. Phil is a perfect example of people that I argue with on Twitter all the time. They do these unsubstantiated claims, completely baseless facts, where they just say, this is what the science says. And you're like, okay, but I have this report and it says this. And they're like, yeah, but this is what the science says. Science says that foundations always right. Sex is scientific. Exactly. Hey, Pickles, don't use their language. Don't say sex is assigned. Sex is never assigned. It is, you notice it. The minute you start saying assigned is the minute you give language to saying that, okay, the doctor has power to decide whether it's a female or male. Just something I've been thinking about.
Your positions that life begins at fertilization, that science is very clear about that. And you have to know science isn't, there's no consensus among the scientific community.
There is, Dr. Phil. 90.
Isn't it incredible? Somebody on the left all of a sudden starts saying that science isn't settled, but something that they all believe is true. They're like, the science is settled. And if you say otherwise, you're just one of those stupid conspiracy theorist people.
No, actually, there's not.
Natural balls or you don't. Exactly.
If you're an in vitro specialist, you're looking to create
let me
a
finish.
single cell embryo, and then you know you have a new human life. So it is a scientific fact.
Well, actually, it's not.
Well, when do you say human life begins then?
It doesn't matter what I think. I don't care what I think. What I'm saying is the scientific community does not have a consensus about when
exactly,
life
Pickles.
begins,
Simply inaccurate. It's simply inaccurate.
That's not true. You can go to the body.
A single cell embryo is a unique new human life.
You can go to the body of scientific literature and you can find neuroscientists who say that it begins when there is a detectable brainwave.
But
you
Dr.
can
Phil,
go
in an
to.
abortion, if it's not a human life, why do you have to kill it?
I haven't spoken over you, and you keep speaking over me, and I assume that's because you don't want me to finish my thought, which is, if anyone here wants to fact check me instead of speak over me, you can go to the scientific literature and query what the definition is of the beginning of life, and you will find that there are different definitions. And it's up to you to decide what you.
I'm sorry. Even if you're on that side of the aisle, that is like the dumbest response. It's always a perfect example. The minute somebody starts attacking you instead of attacking your information, that's when they know they're wrong.
Sorry, not sorry.
Good old Dr. Phil the tyrant. I know, but it gets even better. So they started going to the crowd to ask the questions for the crowd to see how they're going on, and it gets a little spicy. The guy is a joke. He's not even a real doctor.
To justify that level of
Okay. Oh my God, I know who this lady looks like to me.
There is nothing you could possibly say to justify that
Yes.
level of lack of
Yes.
empathy. And that's
Yes.
the problem I feel like in this country at the moment. We of empathy, and we've just
Exactly.
stuck with that tradition.
Exactly,
We have
girl.
no empathy.
Yes.
Abortion is devastating to women's mental health. No one talks about that. The year after a woman has
Do
an
you know what
abortion,
it's really like
the year after a
woman
woman
to have the child.
the-
What kind of trauma is
the
that?
trauma
that you're
is from the
inducing on
rape.
somebody?
The trauma is from the rape. The child's an innocent.
They always like do like those fringe things too. It's like, what about like a grandpa raping his eldest granddaughter? It's like, where do your fantasy land is so freaking weird. Can you just relax? Like this, that's such a weird. It's like this one instance, and now everyone has to have it.
Party there.
The child
we
isn't
don't
born
take out
yet. It's not there.
we should not take out
The child isn't born yet.
generational sin on a child. To say there's generational.
Okay, and you can tell the difference too between somebody, as that lady in the audience was saying, that empathy is gone. She has no empathy towards this person who she's talking to. She's out of her mind, angry, losing her mind about this argument, and this girl somehow is staying completely calm, cool, and collected. You know what I'm saying?
Sin, and that dad was an
But here's
abuser,
the
so
thing,
the
we're not
child
even
should be
talking about
killed.
sin at this
That's
rate.
not
We're
fair to the
talking
child.
about rights. And he just
Yes.
said,
It's almost like they project their sexual fetish. Oh my God, I know. It's so weird. Like, they're obsessed with that one instance. They're just like,
There's this one time where like an uncle,
and you're just like, I've never met a person like that before, but yeah, I can entertain that. And then if you say something like, okay, let's just say abortions can happen if your uncle rapes you. How about that? And they're like, no, I need more. And it's like, don't use that for an argument then. Don't let that be your baseline for arguing with me. If I go, okay, you can have that. Now what? And it's just, and then also it always brings the case of like, oh, because of the sins of the father, all of a sudden that child is going to have to die now because their dad's a total douchebag. Like there's no logic to this. I wish people would just be honest. It's like you don't want a kid, and so you feel like you have the ability to kill that kid, and versus the child is life, and I think that child has a right to live as much as the mother has a right to live as well. And so if people were honest about this conversation, it wouldn't be so hyper polarized, because the people on the left get so emotionally charged that they can't even think straight and won't have an honest conversation. I'd rather them on the left say, you know what, I'm okay with murdering children because I want to have the life I want to live. I would be like, wow, that is freaking so evil, but at least you're honest, and we can talk about like what constitutes life and where do you draw the line and stuff like that, and at least be honest. But instead, they just want to like live in this fantasy land of like these rare and safe, legal, and rare instances. Remember safe, legal, and rare? That's not even a thing anymore. People are like celebrating abortions. It's so freaking weird, and it's sick, and it's a death cult, and it's just, you're crazy if you call it out. It's just God. Even Planned Parenthood testified in Congress that 0.3% of the bills. Okay, exactly. And no one wants to talk about the origins of Planned Parenthood either, do they? No. Oh, no. Do not bring that up, because that is some racism right there.
A right has been taken away from us. And what is next?
I want to address that.
A right is, and also the same. Okay, I say this every single time. You're never gonna meet a girl who talks like this. If she decides to have a baby and then the man says, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with the child, and I'm not gonna pay child support, and I'm not gonna help out whatsoever, she's not gonna go, okay, that's fine. Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Because our fundamental human right that we all share in this room is life. It's the first human right.
It's good.
Laws are meant to protect the weak. In a society, who's the weakest? Who's the weakest in a society? A child. They don't have a voice. They can't speak. A child in the room, or a poor child would be the weakest.
Keep them that way by
and a child with disability. Listen, whether you live 10 minutes or 10 years or 100 years, you're a human life, and you have the right to not be killed. And that's what the pro-life fight is all about. That's what we're...
The poorest. So her logic is all poor people should have the ability to murder their children. Okay, so do you think that those people don't deserve to have a chance to live because they're poor? I mean, this, again, here comes another logic. You know, it's like, okay, so poor people should murder all their children because they're born into a poor society. I was born poor. And like, it's just... my body, my choice should be met with my wallet, my choice. Exactly. Fighting
for a culture of life where we provide real health care. You know, abortion is the intentional destruction of an innocent human life.
Perfect. Man, what a boss. Even if you don't agree with her, whenever you see someone go on a show like that and stay even-tempered and have an honest conversation and like spits what she believes to be true so eloquently and so calmly, and then the other side is a woman that's completely hysterical, it just shows you how insane this argument is. That it's not logic based, it's emotional based, and it's I want my life, me. It's all about me, and I want to me. Then take the jab. God. All right, next. Okay. Speaking of Clinton, remember when Clinton murdered me earlier? Oh man. Time to take a drink. I'm taking a drink out of Dick's water. Who doesn't love Dick's sparkling water? Dick's. All right. Here is Justin Trudeau's wife talking to the Clintons and asking her about marriage insight. Could you imagine being in a place in your life where you need to go to Hillary? Man, my L's are messing up tonight, bro. Can you be in a place in your life where you go to Hillary? God, I quit. I just quit. I'm done. If you go to a place in your life and you need to talk to Clinton about marriage advice, I don't know what to tell you. Can somebody help me with my L's? Hooked on phonics obviously did not work out for me. All right, here we go.
And you know, I said that's not the right choice for everybody. Sometimes the gutsy thing is not to, you know, stay in my marriage. And you know, I said that's not the right choice for everybody. Sometimes the gutsy thing is not to. But everybody should be given the opportunity to make those difficult choices about relationships the best that they can, because it goes back to the Maya Angelou quote. I mean, do the best you can, and you know, when you know better, do better. And I really wanted to highlight, and we have people there who lost their spouses, both husbands and same-sex partners. We, you know, talk with Gloria Steinem, who was engaged when she was a young woman and broke the engagement because it didn't seem like the life that she wanted to live. We really tried to cover the gambit of the most personal aspects of our lives where, yeah, we're called to be gutsy.
And does being gutsy mean reimagining love and relationships? You know, Esther Perel? She says that because of our emotional and relational immaturity, we have a tendency to want to kill a relationship instead of re-questioning its structure. Love is taking on so many different forms, from all gender, from all race, and really, as long as human beings are happy, is it not our responsibility to keep an open mind to reimagine how love can express freely?
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes, I absolutely think you're right.
Okay, little quiz for everybody because we're almost coming to an end. We don't have enough time. This is
What? What the frick? Do you ever know, like, do you ever, like, listen to people talk and you're like, are you real? Let's reimagine love. Yeah. Because, like, what is love? It's laying your life down for another. So putting the other above yourself. That's the truest form of love. Yeah, but we need to reimagine it. What is going on? Oh gosh, I love the screen in the back was like captioning what she was saying.
And now, when you know.
He's like, should I have stayed with Bill? I stayed with him. Yes, I stayed with him. Love Shack, baby. Yeah. God, you know, you never see Hillary Clinton with her husband Bill. You never see it. I've never, like, them together. Nothing says love like never being around your spouse. Oh, God. Please teach us about love. Bill was an amused husband. Changed my mind. Abused. Oh, God, I read that wrong. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It does make you wonder. Because, like, H-Dog seems a little aggressive, and Bill seems a little chill. So it makes you wonder. Bill, did she hurt you, Bill? Did she touch you? All right. Right now, Biden is heading to Delaware to do what?
Basically sweating bullets, working very hard to try to avoid a shutdown. In the meantime, the president is now leaving the White House, headed to Delaware for an unplanned trip to an undisclosed location, and he's only scheduled to be there about an hour. Brett?
So Biden is heading all the way to Delaware for an hour. He is getting in a plane, Air Force One, flying all the way to Delaware for an hour and coming all the way back. Enough time for a diaper change, yes. This is costing the taxpayer $117,000 an hour. Now, Biden apparently is on Air Force One to go to Delaware to vote in the state's primary, as he is being ignored questions on the way to the airport of, why didn't you do absentee ballots? See, here's another reminder. Anytime these people's too genuine of a word and nice of a word, anytime these idiots try to talk to you about how you need to live a certain way because of climate change, I don't understand how people can vote for these people and think they're great people, and at the same time, like, when they hear things about climate change, like, yeah, I will uproot my life and make my life a lot harder so that I can do my part, while these people will jump in a huge jet for an hour to go vote. Because you got to make an appearance. It's politics. You got to do it. And if you don't do it, then are you even president? I mean, come on. The guy is the president. He's got to do it. He's getting in a plane, and he's going to vote and then fly all the way back. What? I mean, how is corporate media not call this out? How are these shills, these people that constantly push climate change down our throats? I'm not saying it's not real or real. I'm not even engaging in that discussion. All I'm talking about is the same people that tell you that we need to all drive electric, our heating bill needs to go way up, we need to get off oil and stuff like that. These same people will be quick to jump in a private jet and fly somewhere, while you are having to pay for it. It's always the poor people in the end that have to deal with it, isn't it? Rules for the not for me. There's Biden on his way for his hour trip. He'll be suited up nicely. Isn't that nice? What a guy. The guy cares. Maybe he is getting his diaper changed. It says Joey doesn't believe in integrity and mail-in ballots. Hey, good point. Pickles, good point, my dude. Yeah, seriously. You would think this would be an easy opportunity for the people on the left to say how great mail-in absentee ballots are and how everyone should do it and how every state should be all about it when it comes to absentee ballots. But instead he's like, no, I need to go vote in person. Because it's way more trustworthy. For him, it's probably just like, I want to show myself. And then today... All right. Today we have... So we don't have like as many like insane leftist videos to watch. That's such an unfortunate. But today, Jen Psaki. I wanted to call her Jen Psaki because we did that video about Jen Psaki yesterday. Freaking myth Jen. Jen, where did you go, Jen? Jen, come back. I miss you, Jen Psaki. I miss you, mommy. Okay. Next, Kareem Perrine was pushed on questions about border security. It's just like, I don't know if you're like me and you're just like bored of talking about border security because it seems like such an obvious thing that needs fixed. But we can't be bored about it because it's happening every single freaking day. And these people just wink and nod and tell you everything's just fine and you're an idiot for saying otherwise. But who does the press secretary blame for what's going on at the border? Could it be to Satan?
Thank you, Kareem. Over the weekend, the vice president said that the border is secure, but we're on track to close the fiscal year with 2 million encounters, breaking last year's record.
Not true.
In the last month alone, fentanyl seizures are up 200%, and we're on pace to break that record also this year. So how is the border secure?
So we see record seizures of fentanyl at the border, so we're actually catching.
It's kind of unreal how she's using that as a talking point. We're seeing record seizures. You mean the influx is so bad that even when we're not doing a very good job locking down the border, we're still seizing more than we've ever seized before? I think they should tell you something, don't you think?
Fentanyl before it enters the country, so that's how we see that. Look, as far as the border, we're taking unprecedented action. We had to fix something that...
Can we cancel the word unprecedented? I'm so sick of that freaking word. If I hear something is unprecedented one more time, I'm going to scream!
Action. We had to fix something that was broken, especially by the last administration. We've secured record levels. This is what we have been able to do. A fund.
Oh, so it's Trump's fault. How long have you guys been in office for? Oh, you just got there 5 seconds ago? Okay,
administration.
cool.
We've secured record levels. This is what we have been able to do. Of funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Remember, many Republicans voted against that. Many of them who would like to invite me to the border have actually voted against that. We've made over 3,000 arrests as part of a first of its kind anti-smuggling campaign. We've installed border technology and set up joint patrols with Mexico and Guatemala to catch.
It's hard to lie, isn't it?
Traffickers. We've got Mexico to agree to pay $1.5 billion to improve border processing and security through smart, proven border management solutions. And the president brought 20 world leaders together to collectively manage migration flows across Western Hemisphere. Compare that to the Trump administration, which largely just tried to build a wall, an ineffective wall, along the border, and couldn't even finish that in 4 years.
In your face.
We're certainly doing a lot more to secure the border and could be doing even more if Republicans would stop their obstruction. That's it.
Oh, it's not my fault. It's your fault. Always. It's not me, it's you. And then here's today. Migrants camouflaged. So they're going, it's hunting season. It's officially bow hunting season where I am at. All right, here we go.
Brand new stunning video coming in from our border in Arizona this time. Fox cameras rolling as illegal immigrants dressed in camouflage seen there using a rope to rappel down a...
Exactly, Pickles. Just ignore your lying eyes. I know. It's like nothing to see here. It's like me telling you I'm black. I am black. I swear I'm black. So, well, if you say otherwise, you're just being ignorant. So, I mean, it's just so insane. It's like you see all these illegal immigrants cross the border every single day. I follow Bill Melugent on Twitter, and he posts pictures all the time. Just yesterday, we showed like the 200 illegal immigrants who were in the private property of somebody. Can you imagine just like being on your farm and all of a sudden like 200 Venezuelans are in your fence? Like, boys, it's hunting season. Like, what the frick, man? It's just so insane. Get out of here. Are you from the same tribe as Sean King? Yes, I am. How did you know? Sean King. We had a chatter in here the other day, Sean King. I thought it was him for a second.
Brand new stunning video coming in from our border in Arizona this time. Fox cameras rolling as illegal immigrants dressed in camouflage seen there using a rope to rappel down a border wall into the United States, and then they ran and got away into open desert. And they are still on the run. Bill Melugent is at the border for us. He's in Eagle Pass, Texas. Bill, this is a stunning new video. You're reporting on it, and this crisis, obviously from this, is not just limited to Texas, based on what we're seeing.
Sandra, no, it's not. As a matter of fact, Border Patrol's Tucson, Arizona sector has the highest number of gotaways anywhere on our southern border, and that's exactly where we shot this video. Pull it up. It is remarkable footage out of Naco, Arizona. That's where our team saw in just a 45-minute span well over a dozen illegal immigrants, all dressed in camouflage, by the way, scaling the border wall, using a rope to rappel down, and then running off into the open Arizona desert. And keep in mind, these are not asylum seekers. These people are not turning themselves in. They don't want to be caught. They don't even want to be seen. And this is something that happens out there very constantly. Keep in mind, all these people you're seeing on camera here, not a single one of them were caught. All of them got away. Border Patrol didn't catch a single one of them. They become...
Isn't it crazy? You're just like, they're right there. Like, just get them. Just get them. You're filming them. What the heck?
Gotaways, and there have now been more than 500,000 of these gotaways at our southern border since fiscal year 2022 began back in October. A staggering number.
That is
and
nuts.
that's despite the fact that Vice President
just scale the wall like that. So easy.
President Kamala Harris continues to insist.
Those guys could be terrorists from the Middle East. We have no idea. They could be Chinese spies. I have no idea. Yeah. It's just good people looking for work. That's all it is. And if you say otherwise, it's because you're a racist.
That the border is...
Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest, run.
Secure. Take a listen.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
Also,
if that's what a priority is, I don't know what the other
in Arizona, take a look at these photos out of the Nogales port of entry. That's where CBP agents made 5 smuggling busts over the weekend, seizing 186,000 fentanyl pills, 3.35 pounds of pure fentanyl powder, 106 pounds of meth. All of it hit.
North Korea has a very secure border. only a few people get away, and it's very rare.
In vehicles and strapped to human bodies, some of it inside human bodies as well. And back out here live, circling back to those gotaways, since the beginning of fiscal year 2021, there have now been more than 900,000 gotaways at our southern border. That's a population bigger than the city of San Francisco, and the Border Patrol Union tells me it is a direct consequence of not having enough agents out on the front lines these days. They say a majority of them have been pulled off to go do paperwork.
Duh. So you have the administration pulling border agents off to do paperwork in the height of it all. God. And didn't we just go through one of the most like the times of the year where it slows down because of how hot it is, and we're just like, wait, how many people crossed? All right, here's our press secretaries talking about the priorities of this administration is inflation. Can you feel it?
On the inflation report that came out today, the president is promising the Inflation Reduction Act will do just that and bring down costs. But this bill does not address food or housing, prices of which we are seeing going up. So what is your message to Americans who are seeing these rising costs? And are you confident that you're doing
Sorry, this is as loud as I possibly can get it.
enough to finally bring these down?
So look, the president has said for some time now, when it comes to his number one economic priority is to deal with inflation, is to make sure that we are lowering costs for the American people, for American families.
That's why we're doing one of the biggest expenditures ever in a bill, and then we're going to name it the Inflation Reduction Act. That's how much we care. God. People are, we're just like, we're in La La Land at this point. Okay. Here's a perfect, this story I was talking about. We allow foreign people to buy up property, buy up land, all in our country. And then if you hate America, an easy way to price out people from being able to have the American dream is to buy up all that land. So right now we have a really big issue right now in places like South Dakota and stuff like that, that Chinese foreign people are buying up farmland right next to U.S. military bases with like top secret information. And so we have a reporter right here asking John Kirby about it, and you would think he would have a good response, but here's his response.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Chinese investors were the most active buyers of U.S. real estate last year among foreigners, often paying cash for farm.
I don't think we heard that loud enough. Chinese foreign investors were the largest buyers in our real estate market last year. And you're like, I'm never going to be able to afford a house. Well, we have this going on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Chinese investors were the most active buyers of U.S. real estate last year among foreigners, often paying cash for farms, homes above market rates, in many cases pushing American buyers out of the markets. At the same time, housing is becoming a crisis. There is an increasing number of homelessness in the United States. Black ownership of homes is below what it was in the 1970s. I'm wondering, given the fact that known adversary, in the case China, foreign buyers are buying up U.S. real estate, in some cases farms around military installations, is this on the administration's radar? And what is being done, perhaps to study this or to protect Americans from making sure that homes remain affordable and so on?
I think the question of home ownership is a little bit out of my swim lane, but
national security issue, particularly when it comes to.
Yeah, how did you not understand that correlation, John Kirby? What if we just pretend, instead of saying Chinese foreign investors were the number one investors in real estate property, what if we just say Russia? Does that make you like lose your mind a little bit? Let's just pretend it's both. How about that? Give us some information, Mr. National Security guy.
Out of my swim lane, but
National security issue, particularly when it comes to around military installations.
What I will tell you is that the president has been nothing but clear about our concerns about Chinese unfair trade practices and economic practices.
Trade.
I understand that, ma'am, but
No, you don't understand that. You're gaslighting and changing the question around to make it seem like you know the answer. You don't want to answer the question. That's what's going on.
I understand that, ma'am, but
buying up land around military installations.
Yeah, I'm probably not the right person to ask about home ownership here in the United States.
It's not a home ownership question. God, wow, that is beautiful. I love a good gaslighting like that. Like, latching on to one part of the question and then changing it to make her seem like the idiot in the instance, and as opposed to him. Because yes, it is a national security issue, you would think. Like the story is South Dakota, where you have Chinese foreign investors that are buying farmland that are around one of our top secret drone bases. And they're, I don't know, figuring out. And then we also have it happening in Texas as well. So not a national security issue. Don't worry, it's not Russia. It's okay, even though we really hate what China is doing.
Military installations.
Yeah, I'm probably not the right person to ask about home ownership here in the United States.
This isn't about home ownership. This is about buying up land around military installations. Is that a concern to this administration?
Go ahead, April.
I sent this to your office last week. They've had a week to look at this, including the articles.
Okay, we can get back to you after.
She sent him a week ago to prep for this question, and he refuses to answer the question. If that doesn't make alarm bells go off in your head, I don't know what does. Because it seems like an obvious national security issue, and apparently they don't care. We don't care. He has a weak voice. I never trust a man with a weak voice. Yeah, me neither. That has been psychologically proven to be true in social... He's not weak. He's meek. I'm just kidding. Like, what a freaking lying jerk. And people say that you need to trust this administration. That's such an obvious national security issue, and he's trying to make it about the housing market. What? Oh my God. This is like just another perfect example. Like, I don't get why people think some of these people in these administration positions are actually good human beings. Like, he is so willing to lie to your face and not answer the question. It's unbelievable. Like, that, nobody would do that to, like, I would never do that to another human being. You don't get that in any other jobs, to just constantly lie to people like this with no accountability. It's amazing the fact that she even prefaced, like at the end, said that, like, I sent this with articles and stuff for you to prep before you came here so you can answer the question, and he still refuses to do it, and then makes her to seem, and then mocks her in a sense of saying, like, oh, I don't know anything about housing. I'm not a real estate guy. I don't have my real estate license. What are you freaking stupid? What the heck? Like, what the frick, dude? Dude, politics is crazy. Like, what the frick? People are just, like, so crazy that they become this alter ego that's not even themselves, and it's, like, insanity of, like, I'm not going to answer this question. You're the national security guy. You speak for the Pentagon. Talk. No, thanks. I don't know real estate, so... God. So stupid. If that doesn't tell you they're walking hand in hand with those people, I don't know what will. It's just... and don't forget today that, which we'll get to at the end, that Biden is currently celebrating the Inflation Reduction Act. And then you had freaking James Taylor come out and play. What the frick?
President Biden will be joined by thousands of Americans in celebrating the historic Inflation Reduction Act here at the White House. The president will highlight how this historic...
Sorry, this is as loud as I can get it.
...deliver for middle-class families and why it's a major win for them over rich special interests. The president is proud that this...
I love that she says that the Inflation Reduction Act is a win against rich special interests. Really? What about the special interests in green energy? How about that? No? What about those major investors in green energy? How about that? No? Oh, okay, it's different. You can have special interests when it's like, for the good of human beings. That's why we dig up those deep cobalt mines in the middle of Africa. and we make child labor. We make all the children work so that we can have our electric vehicles, because electric is good, oil bad. All right. We got a couple of clips of Jill. No, just one clip. All right. Here is Jill. Excuse me. Dr. Jill Biden talking about books, and you better like it. She also said in the interview today that Joe Biden is running again, so be happy about this. This happy hit. You almost made me say that, Junior. You crazy. Okay, here we go. Dr. Jill Biden.
Parents and politicians are now weighing in on what books should be in our school libraries and
Like,
what their kids
should we have porn in our school libraries? Yes or no?
are being taught. Where's the line, in your opinion,
Right.
with how much of a say parents should have when it comes to what their kids are learning in school?
Right. Where is the line? Why should parents even have a voice in what their kids are learning? Am I right? I mean, who gives them the right for them to say what goes on in their children's minds or happens around them? Who gives them the right? I mean, where do they get off? Who are these freaking disgusting parents? Just shut up and go to your job. You don't care about your children as much of a teacher. Teachers care more about your children than you do. Honestly, I saw that a lot as a teacher, and it made me depressed. But the parents that are speaking up and stuff, I think it would be the opposite of what's happening. But yeah, here we go. Is a stupid question. It's like, what books should be taught? Should we have porn in schools? Should there be Playboy everywhere? Should Pornhub be on every single computer? I mean, who are we to say what's right and wrong in these children's brains? I'm not. I need my 5th grade, my kindergartner learning about sex immediately. Every kindergartner needs to know about the sexual bodies. It's not grooming. What are you talking about? Are you serious? Okay, here we go. Dr. Jill Biden. She knows. She's a doctor.
School libraries and what their kids are being taught. Where's the line, in your opinion, with how much of a say parents should have when it comes to what their kids are learning in school?
Well, I think with the pandemic, parents saw how hard teachers work and how difficult this job really is. And I think if they work together in their school districts and decide what they want with their curriculum.
Is there a balance between, this book should be in the library, this book is under
All books
review?
should be in the library.
Exactly. All porn should be in the library. What the frick? All books. We should have Mein Kampf on every shelf. They should be everywhere.
All books. This is America. We don't ban books.
This is America. Don't catch me slipping, though. Porn on every book, though. Again, and they're talking about the books that have been banned in Florida classrooms and stuff like that. And these books will have like how to give oral sex and stuff like that. Very explicit stuff. Should that be in your elementary school library? No. Is that an insane take? Oh my God, Derek O'Shea is losing his mind. There should be porn everywhere. What the frick, dude? This is such an easy W conversation for like conservatives, Republicans, libertarians, and they refuse to talk about it. And instead, they talk about non-winning issues or refuse to not even talk about stuff like this. Talk about the heart of the family. It's such an easy W. Okay, all books, and let's put the Trump book back in schools. Exactly. How I did it. Wait, what's his book? What's his book that he has, like the selling book? The Art of the Deal should be on every single elementary school shelf. Yeah, and then maybe we'll put The Art of the Deal next to Mein Kampf because they're basically the same thing. We're just like in the most insane time period of my life of the gaslighting, the disingenuous arguments, and Is it disingenuous arguments? I can't tell anymore. I can't tell if people are just stupid. Like, I want to say they're being disingenuous, or they're just evil, or they're just stupid. Like, I don't know what it is. Like that guy that was like arguing with me today and then like said that because I voted for Trump, that makes me an all-out MAGA Trump supporter. Like, really? So like anybody who's a moderate who decided that Biden was like a piece of crap, that makes you like, you should be eloped in the same, like, people like to put everyone in categories in life. Okay, you fit in here, so that they feel comfortable, can tell if they can feel comfortable around you. You're like, I will only listen to your podcast if you have a Ukraine flag in your bio, then I feel comfortable enough to listen to you, as opposed to like just engaging with my ideas or learning to what I have to think about things, or hearing me out on things, or if I am wrong, calling me out how I'm wrong, and then we can learn from each other. That is gone. People are just like, I'm ready to put everyone in little caps. Hey, FBI, I'm Ultra Mag, kiss my ass. Okay, Junior. Kiss my ass. Junior, don't make me do an anonymous tip on you. FBI. Attention, FBI. This guy, Junior, in my chat, yeah. I have an anonymous tip. He said he's Ultra MAGA, I swear to God. Yeah. No, seriously, get him out of here. No, seriously, get him out. No, I'm not going to put down my name. It's anonymous. I'm being anonymous tipper. You're done, Junior. Sorry, man. I don't know who that was, but she hates you. All right. So stupid. I don't even want to listen to Manchin talk about freaking inflation. This guy, remember this guy talking about how he was like, I remember so many people on the right were like so excited about Manchin. It's like, look at him blocking the oh crap, he's not blocking the Democrats anymore. Oh crap. 2024 Rise of the MAGA King. You know, whenever I say things like that, I'm being completely facetious and joking. And it just triggers so many people. Like, you can't even make jokes anymore without them putting you in a camp. You're like, oh my God, did you just say Trump is funny? Oh my God, you're basically, you're QAnon. I swear to God. You made a freaking joke about Trump? Oh my God, that means you love him. That means you want to make out with him, I swear to God. God, I'm so sick of like how uptight everyone is all the time. Relax. All right, here we go. Here's Joey Manchin talking about inflation. Hey, Joey, thanks for voting on the Inflation Reduction Act, you son of a...
For people at home, we're talking about the inside politics, about how to get these deals done.
I need a soundboard.
What they're seeing at the table. And inflation is not slowing. And this CPI report was bad today.
Brett, I said a year and a half ago, and no one paid attention to me. I said inflation is real. Inflation will cripple you. It'll bring you to your knees. And
then why did you vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, Joe? Huh? God, I can't believe he's even saying this. Oh, God, that just makes me so mad. Brett, I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this exact thing for years. I'm not kidding. For years, bro.
Brett, I said a year and a half ago, and no one paid attention to me. I said inflation is real. Inflation will cripple you. It'll bring you to your knees. And in the areas of the state or areas of the country that have people who are struggling every day to make ends meet, you throw another 6-8% on top of everything else, it's almost impossible for them to survive.
But isn't it disingenuous to call this the Inflation Reduction Act if we're looking at a CPI that actually goes up?
It's the only thing that we have ever done that has a chance to really fight inflation.
For people at home, we're talking about the...
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people. Oh my God. If these people don't make you mad, I don't know what will. What a freaking liar, dude. What a freaking liar. Oh my God, dude. What the frick? Oh, I feel like I need to hear that again. I'm not ready for that kind of gaslight, that kind of like insanity at this moment. Oh my God. Oh, the biggest expenditure ever or investment, as they like to call it, is reducing inflation. Okay, I see how that works.
Isn't it disingenuous to call this the Inflation Reduction Act if we're looking at a CPI that actually goes up?
It's the only thing that we have ever done that has a chance to really fight inflation.
Oh, jeez. I live in Seattle and I'm seeing more MAGA hats than ever. The comedy underground was seething Dems, but now all the comedians are flipping to Republicans. You won't see that in the news. Yeah. The comedy scene is changing. You're still going to have the far leftist comedians, and they're on Netflix and stuff like that. But the underground scene, real comedy will never survive with the authoritarian left and their comedy. Like, I just saw a TikTok video today of, like, apparently a leftist comedy, and she's going around saying that she's, like, canceling her, she's going around the office and saying, I'm going to go ahead and cancel some of my coworkers. And then she was, like, making people say problematic words, and the problematic word was basket case. And then she was saying, oh, do you know where the origins of the basket case is? It's from like World War I, and somebody's limbs not working because they were blown off or something. I'm like, that's what the leftist comedy is. And they were just like laughing and thought it was so funny. It's not funny. There's nothing funny about that. True comedy is punching up. True comedy is self-reflection, making fun of yourself. That's why I constantly make fun of myself all the time. Like, you can make fun of me all you want. Like, if the minute you have an ego, the minute you're like worried about what you're going to say, that's where comedy dies. All these people that, I'm glad that you see that in Seattle. I freaking love Seattle. I've been to Seattle a few times. The library is legit. I went to some grungy metal fried fish place that was amazing downtown Seattle. I love Seattle. I love the people of Seattle. But that city is freaking run like crap. And it's a bit of a hellhole, and there's homeless people everywhere. I mean, I live in Spokane, Washington for a long time. But, like, Seattle is awesome. And it's so beautiful. It's so green. I love dicks. Who doesn't love dicks, man? I was like, my first day I went there, I went to some sculpture park, and then I went and got some dicks, and it had a bunch of dicks. Like, you guys and your dicks, man. But I love Seattle. I'm glad to see that. Comedy Underground, good. Good to know, man. Good to know. Comedy will never die because people need a release. And I think people are done with this whole, like, cancel culture. You can shut up your butt. Speaking of amazing, look at this. I said Gingers Unite. I don't know if you saw my Little Mermaid Ginger video that everyone is like so triggered by, but obviously have not watched my video whatsoever with me saying, I don't care because I'm not going to watch it. I just think it's funny and ironic that they're willing to take over ginger roles or whatever, you know, ginger characters and put a black person in, but you would never see it the other way around. And that's all I said. And people are like, oh my God. She just sang good. That's all it was. Like, shut up. Just shut up. Don't like, but it's good to see. Here we go. The new Little Mermaid teaser trailer has 8 million views, 287 likes, and 1 million dislikes. In your face, Little Mermaid. You can't cancel gingers. Freaking teaser trailer. It's good to see that though. I want to see. Let's see all the people losing their minds. Here we go. Cultural appropriation of the classics is never liked. Yeah, thanks. Please explain how this is cultural appropriation. 3 Ukraine flags? 3. Texas lefty, hashtag arrest Trump. These people are off their rocker, man. 3 Ukraine flags. Look, and she's got the little, what's that stupid show? God, the abortion show. I mean, you know it's a cult. I mean, come on. How do you not, or this is a bot, right? Like, how is this person real? She really thinks that putting 3 Ukraine flags makes her, like, this is much like Christians do. But this is what the left is doing. They don't have religion, and so they use politics as their religion. This is their foundation. This is their truth. This is how they mark who they decide who to talk to. I get they're going for diversity, but this is coming across as hateful and anti-white. Thank you. And here we go. How so often Ariel's race was never specific in the original. As a matter of fact, her race wasn't even specific. It doesn't matter. You guys make it specific about everything. Yeah, we'll like to see the box office does, not arrogant online trolls hitting dislike. Yeah, anybody with opinion that's other than the establishment is immediately a troll in these people's eyes too. They're like, oh my God, you're being a troll. Like, no, maybe I think I dislike all the crap that's getting pushed down our throats from Disney and stuff like that. Like I've been talking about the Rings of Power. That show is not good. And they put so much money into it. The writing is horrible. God. So as a black person, am I supposed to get excited for hand-me-downs? Exactly. Like there are so many old black stories, like historical stories that should be highlighted. And instead they just like whitewash characters and then put characters on other things. But I want to show this. We need a break from the insanity. Anybody used to skateboard in the chat? I used to skate or die, bro. I would have never done this. Oh! Skate or die, dude! Oh, God. That's freaking miserable, dude. All right, next clip. Oh, God. I don't know if you're keeping up with what's going on with the monarchy right now, but this new king is doing just fine, except for the pens are owning him at the moment. Here he is struggling with a pen again. He seems like he has a good temper, very even, keeled, and chill.
I just had to put, is it September 12th?
13th, sir.
Oh God, I put the wrong date down.
Oh God, I put the wrong date down. Dear God.
13th?
Yes, sir.
You said 12th earlier. Where did I put the 12th? I was something 10th. Oh God, I hate this.
No, look, it's going everywhere. Hang on. So nobody got it wrong.
What is that?
No, look, it's everywhere.
Can't bear this bloody thing. What they do is every stinking
there's nothing that brings me more joy than watching old men get angry. It's so funny to me. Like, I don't know if you're ever like in a place and you're just watching like an old guy just get really mad about a situation. It's just like, what are you gonna do, dude? You're like 90 years old. Especially British. This stinking bloody pen. It's going everywhere. It's disgusting, mate. Oh, England's doing just fine. God. Hey, Derek. Todd Glass wants to know if you can get him some work. The phones are not ringing. If you can get him some work, the phones are not. Who's Todd Glass? Todd Glass? I'm going to have to look that up. Who's Todd Glass? How do I not know who Todd Glass is? Todd Glass, the comedian? How do I not know who that is? Apparently I don't know much about. Does he have a live show right now? All right. Okay, speaking of amazing, would you do this? This is a freaking blindfold race. Would you get blindfolded and go for a race with a bunch of people? Watch this video. Dude, he got hit so hard. What a loser. God, poor guy. Oh man, that's so hilarious. You don't know who Todd is? I just love that. Thank you. Thank you, I don't. Honestly, okay, speaking of people that are famous that not everyone knows, Today I saw Tim Pool write this. Human males can't get pregnant. You know, it's this mentality that's going to keep us from having superpowers and being able to fly. We can do it if we dream. If we dream it, we can do it. If you dream it, you can achieve it. I believe in you. You can put your mind to do anything you want, except have a baby. God. I love that's like a triggering tweet. Who cares? As we get ready to go over some of the clips from Biden today, here's just a little sample about what's going on. Here's Biden. Tell me if you would ever write this down. This should be in a yearbook quote right here.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
This should be a yearbook quote. It should be in every high schooler's yearbook.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
Think about what you think about. Dude, you got to think about what you think about, because if you're not thinking about what you think about, then you're probably not thinking about what you're thinking about. And if you're not thinking about what you're thinking about, then therefore you're probably not even thinking. It's common sense. It's science. Tim, little bald Tim needs to lose his hat. Hey, Tim, we know you're bald. Hey, don't make fun of the bald guy. We're all going to be there someday. Some faster than others. He's got a lot of stress. Okay. Nancy, are you drunk today?
Mr. President, thank you for unifying and inspiring a vision of a stronger, fairer, safer future for all, for our children. Your extraordinary leadership has made this glorious day possible. That's an applause line.
What I said was actually awesome. I know I wasn't totally lying to you, and you're not like sitting there dumbfounded like, I can't believe this woman is actually lying to me like this. That was a moment that you should be applauding me. That was amazing. Did you hear me just say what I said? God, freaking A. I love it. She's standing next to the most evil villain in every film. But here, speaking of evil villain, today, Chuck Schumer today.
We're here to talk about things that...
Today, Chuck Schumer couldn't help but talk about MAGA the entire time. I heard Tim sleeps, showers, and even has sex. I mean, wouldn't you? If that hat was that... That's why I'm wearing a hat, just so I could be as famous, you know? This is my Tim hat. I'm trying to be as famous as him. It's my new look. It's my new staple look, so you will recognize me. And that's why I don't wear it in public, so that you can't recognize me. Here's the evil villain, Chuck Schumer.
We're here to talk about things that matter to families.
We're here to talk about things that matter to families.
Lowering costs. Creating jobs.
Creating jobs for the government and unions.
Helping them make ends meet.
Helping you make ends meet with high inflation.
What are the MAGA Republicans doing over in the Capitol?
They're not in power at the moment, but we're going to talk about them anyways.
Capitol today, introducing national bans on abortion.
I think Lindsey Graham introduced like a 15-week ban on abortion. I love the fact that Chuck Schumer is calling Lindsey Graham a MAGA Republican. Oh my God. I mean, God, this is why arguing with a leftist is not worth it, or a liberal. These are like the dumbest talking. Imagine calling Lindsey Graham a MAGA Republican. That's like calling Mitt Romney a conservative. Like it's just he's not. Boo. Wait, what is this on the White House grounds? Boo.
Introducing national bans on abortion.
Boo. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute.
Capitol today, introducing national bans on abortion.
Oh, boo! God. Jeez. These people are nuts. You have a good face and scalp shape. Bald makes some guys look... Hey! Heck yeah, dude. Dude, if I went totally bald, I would have the biggest beard known to mankind. It would be such a compensation. All right, Chuck Schumer is such a dork. I love the fact that Chuck Schumer goes on like late night comedy shows like Stephen Colbert. We shouldn't even call that show a comedy show. It's not. Okay, here's Baby Chuck.
That's the difference between the two parties in a nutshell. While MAGA Republicans are fixated on their extremist agenda like a national abortion ban, Democrats are focused on creating jobs, lowering costs, and bringing the country together.
God, I freaking imagine actually believing that. Oh God. You know what's the best part of like why I love doing this podcast is that like some of the best forms of arguing with people is just laughing at them, and it makes them so mad. They're just like, they hate it. Like me laughing at him in that instance would make him so mad. He would just be like, "Why are you laughing?" Because you're an idiot. And like, "Ugh." All right, here we go. Before we finish off with some click, just think, 10 years, all these political figures are going to be aged out of life. Oh my God, so true. They will all be long gone. Oh, may we all be blessed to be around of the day where Nancy Pelosi is no longer in Congress, no longer in this, like, ever around. I'll miss her. Good old Nance.
You know, it's been a long time, frankly, since the American people have felt Washington's capable of doing big things to meet big challenges. Under former President Trump and MAGA Republicans, it was hard to blame them for feeling that way. But the story's very different under Democratic leadership.
Oh my God, imagine actually believing that crap. These people will say anything. They will tell you that you are richer now than you've ever been in your life. And if you were to like disagree, they would call you insane. They'd be like, what's wrong? I don't get it. What's the deal? So I'm going to end this show with like Biden's speech today, because there were so many clips that I wanted to get through for Biden's speech that I was like, I'm just going to watch it. So I pulled it to the part where he's actually talking, because I think it's important to hear what he has to say, because he is not done with this like narrative that they're constantly pushing, making MAGA Republicans, whatever that means to them. Apparently it means if you voted for Trump, that makes you a MAGA Republican. I don't know how that is logically sense. I would assume it's just people that are obsessed with Trump. That's what I thought it would meant, but not to them. So during that time of him like talking and stuff like that, I think this is like one of the better clips. Right after he got done talking, you could see him being excited and talking about how great everything is, and the Dow is plummeting. Here's like CNN right here.
Listening there to President Biden at the White House, he's celebrating the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. He says that he's been fighting Big Pharma for decades. But there is this unfortunate split screen right now with the Dow taking a total beating, down more than 1,200 points. And so it feels like it's hard to be celebratory for some people in the crowd.
Yeah, it's hard to be celebratory because everyone's being affected by it. But here's Neil Cavuto.
All right, the president has his remarks at the White House celebrating the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act and saying it will prove good things to come, saying that today offers proof that the soul of America is vibrant, the future of America is bright, and the promise of America is real. Unfortunately, he never looked to the markets while this was all being planned, because they were tumbling on a clear sort of refuting of all of that. Investors in general saying that, sorry, Mr. President, the inflation problem is very real to us. And in fact, we're quite worried about it, and selling off in droves because of it. And as a result, the Dow Jones Industrial suffered its 7th biggest point hit in its history right now. It was the 4th 1,000-plus point hit the Dow has observed.
Yes, as we discussed at the beginning of the show, the CPI numbers are still bad. Inflation is still bad. Anyone that pisses off the people that pisses me off is who I'm voting for. I love that. Same with me. Anybody that actually, just for spite, And that's what people don't understand is that like when I try to tell people like why I voted for Trump, it's because of how like insane people got over him and how mad they got. It made me feel like, why are they getting mad? Is it because he actually cares and wants to do something? As I always constantly point out, we're giving $15 billion to Ukraine, and we have Jackson, Mississippi that's still struggling with water. We have infrastructure that needs being replaced here all the time. We have all these huge things that need to be done in this country, and what is the Democrats, what are the Republicans most focused on? They're focused on Ukraine. They're not focused on you. And so anytime they get mad, they're like, he's different. He like, even if he didn't even do as much as I wanted him to do. He didn't drain the swamp like he told me, like he said he was going to do it. But people need to take note. People are sick of being lied to. People are so tired of just the gaslighting, the constant gaslighting. Like today, as we watch the press secretary and stuff like that talk about how amazing of a job Biden is doing, and the CPI numbers were still bad, and inflation is still bad, as the administration comes out and says things like, inflation is our number one priority, and you're like, how? How is it your number one priority when you continue to spend, continue to make huge bills that invest in our future, when we're not in a time of investing right now because of how bad our economy is, and B, how much debt we're in. But yeah, whatever. We need to invest in it right now instead of just doing what we're already doing, but doing it better. I don't know. That's crazy. Don't you think in a time of investment, that's when things are going relatively well and you're in a surplus. So you look around, you go, okay, we're in a surplus. Let's do things better. That's not our government. They don't care. And they just continue to pump money, continue to push money all over the place as we have this fiat currency. And they try to tell you everything's fine. They care about you. They don't. Inflation is the cruelest tax on the poor, period. And by how this administration talks to you about inflation is how they view you as just a stupid person that doesn't get it, and they will gaslight you all the way to hell. And that's just like the saddest part about politics is how much. That's why I laugh so much, because so many of these politicians just constantly lie to you, and they are so happy to do so. They will tickle your ears. They'll tell you what you need to hear in order for you to vote for them, in order for them to stay in power. And until we get rid of like the party system, until we get rid of like maybe give a third party a try, I don't know if it's ever going to end, to be honest. And that is unfortunate. But I wanted to end the show with like the rest of the speech, because I think there were so many nuggets in this speech that I think were important to hear from the president. If you just started tuning in, you want to get majority of the podcast, I'd recommend you rewind it and start from the beginning. But here's our president, and feel free to text me chat with me all you want while we watch. Biden defunded 223 animal shelters to fund the Ukraine war. So next time you see a dog or cat starving on the street, think Biden. I mean, look at any of our inner cities. Seriously, any of them. Ridden with crime, overcrowded with like homeless, mentally ill, open air drug use, and they don't care. And they just will point the finger at somebody else. It's a Republican issue. It's a Democrat issue. I don't care whose issue. Just fix it. They don't care. Chicago has one of the highest shootings. How many people get shot there every single weekend is devastating, and they don't care. And they don't CNN, MSNBC, you'll never see those stories about how bad Chicago is. Why? Because Lori Lightfoot is God's gift to earth to them. All right, here's Biden.
I'm proud to introduce the greatest champion of American
But please
workers.
keep talking to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 46th President of the United
46th.
States, President Joe Biden.
Great job. I'm impressed. I really am impressed.
Don't touch me, bro.
Thank you.
Oh my God. This new Biden that they're trying to make happen, of like him being like a stand-up comedian with a mic walking around, is so funny to me. It's like, don't just let him. We need to let Biden loose, man. It's Dark Brandon.
Hello, everyone back there.
He's got so much energy. Look at him go.
What a great crowd. And I tell you what.
Tell me.
If I thought I could have ever spoken as well as you did when I was your age, I'd have never thought of being president. No, really, thank you. Please have a seat. With your permission.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Folks, welcome to the White House, everybody. And thank you, Lavette, for this. This law is for you and for the millions of people like you, good, decent, hard-working Americans.
It's not a long speech.
And how about
Don't worry.
James Taylor, a voice that heals our soul and unites a nation and a good friend? I don't know where James is probably
James
smart
Taylor
enough to be under the
sucks.
shade of the tree over there, or I've taken off. But James, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not a
We're
James
joined
fan.
by many champions for the American people. The first one of my best champions, is the First Lady, Jill Biden. I thought she was teaching, but she's here. Vice President Harris, who's not only a great vice president, but become a great friend. And the second gentleman, as well as Speaker Pelosi, and Leader Schumer, and Joe Manchin. Joe, thanks for sticking with what you said you'd do. Appreciate it. And the committee chairs who worked for almost 2 years to make this law real. And all the House and Senate Democrats who stood together and never, ever, ever gave up. This couldn't have happened without every single one of you, and that's in the literal sense in the Senate. Every single one was required because the other team didn't want to play. And all our distinguished guests, CEOs, advocates.
The old fart James is for grandmas.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Junior. Seriously, James Taylor sucks. I don't care. James Taylor stinks.
What a great day.
He
Exactly
stinks.
4 weeks ago today, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law.
And
the single most important legislation.
And CPR came out and was bad and tanked the market today. Yeah, but let's keep that rhetoric up. It's the Inflation Reduction, even though it's not doing exactly what the bill is named for.
Passed in the Congress to combat inflation, and one of the most significant laws in our nation's history, in my view. I said it then, and I'll keep saying it. With this law, the American people won, and special interests lost. Say it again. The American people won.
Except
and special
green
interests
special
lost.
interest won.
Folks, we're going to lower prescription drug costs, lower health insurance costs, lower energy costs for millions of families.
And you get a car, and you get a car.
Aggressive action ever to confront the climate crisis and increase our energy security. Ever in the whole world.
Security.
And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're going to build a future, the future, here in the United States of America.
Don't you love how he's talking about building a future, especially with green energy? Who's building that future? Oh, it's China, and then the child labor in Africa digging up all the rare earth minerals. Because we're not going to do it here. Dear God, we will not do it here. Because then people might actually come face to face with how maybe not so green energy truly is. And also, who cares?
With American workers, with American companies, with American-made products, and after years of some of the biggest corporations in the United States paying zero in federal income tax, they'll now have to begin to literally pay their fair share. Today offers proof that the soul of America is vibrant, the future of America is bright, and the promise of America is real. It is real. It is real.
I kind of get why Joe is so angry at his age. He's got to be suffering from a serious case of old man.
This is an extraordinary story.
There's pills for that,
Being
Junior.
written today in America by this administration as I step all over my coat. Good thing my mom's not around.
Yeah, you're pretty old.
But look, you're an awful lot of brave allies out there in the Congress. It took a lot of heat. And by so many determined advocates and activists all across the country.
Isn't it so weird? Like, this is a celebration for the bill, and he is just, like, talking about how amazing what he did was. It's so... And then they had James Taylor come. Now, I'm sure it was fitted by the American taxpayer. I'm sure... How much did we pay James Taylor to be there? How much? Because you know he wasn't doing it for free. And so this whole thing... In the midst of people struggling to get by due to high inflation, they're having a celebration. If this isn't like some Hunger Games shizzle. I don't know what it is, man.
Now, as I look out in this lawn, I see leaders who made the government of America begin to work again. Work for the people, not special interests, for the people.
The people.
Folks, look. Elected officials who stood up to the millions of dollars in attack ads from special interests, business leaders who were willing to endure the criticism of many of their colleagues, and so many people who fought for years to lower prescription drug prices and tackle the climate crisis. This is your victory. This is your victory. And that's a fact. And you deserve a huge round of applause. Give them applause, all these people who stood up.
Again, Mr. Climate Change himself, after this speech, jumped on his private plane, his Air Force One, flew to Delaware to vote, and then flew back. Okay, yeah. You care about the environment so much so that you're willing to change the way you do things. Oh, you want me to change? Okay.
Every one of them. Now let's hear it for the workers in the labor unions, mayors and local officials, environmental activists, students and young people.
Give it up for my mom.
For senior citizens and families. This is what it looks like when the American government works for the people.
For the
we tell the powerful interests,
people.
No, you're not going to get your way. This time, not this year, not this time, not now.
It's so funny when he tries to get
Some
mad.
of my colleagues have been around a long. How long we've been fighting pharma? How long we've been taking on these interests? From the time I got to the Senate.
This new Joe Biden talking about fighting pharma in the same light, you're like, you need to get your 10th booster right now. What are you talking about? Freaking fighting pharma. Shut up. Shut up.
720 years ago.
God.
I'm serious. Think about it. Let's be honest. Passing this law wasn't easy. I proposed it as soon as I got here, basically. And I've said that day that I was determined to work with Republicans. And I've done that on historic laws like the infrastructure law. Republicans came across the aisle.
Who?
And they worked with us. And we
Who?
got it done.
Who?
Over $1.2 billion to reshape this nation's
$1,200,000,000.
This nation's infrastructure.
Yeah.
The CHIPS and Science Act and the PACT Act for veterans and their families. In fact, I think it's fair to say we've achieved more bipartisan.
It's so cringe. I think people are buying their BS. Talk about clueless. 100%, man.
Even remotely possible when I entered office.
It's
So I
it's
thank
unreal.
the Republicans who stood up,
What Republicans? Say their names, because there isn't any.
and I'm proud of it. It's been good for the country, but I believe Republicans could have and should have joined us on this bill as well. After all, this bill cut costs for families, help reduce inflation at the kitchen table, because that's what they look at, how much of their monthly bills and how much do they have to pay out for their necessities.
I thought he was going to go into his just a little bit of breathing room for a second there. Just a little, on the kitchen table. Just a little bit of breathing room.
And it gave them just a little more breathing room was my...
I did not know that was going to happen. I did not know that was freaking going to happen. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not know that was going to happen. I swear to God. Oh my God, dude. I feel like I just entered the Matrix. What just happened? How did I know? Oh, we're in crazy times.
Dad would say, this bill will lower the deficit. This bill alone.
Now that's timing. Thank you. Yes. That is definitely. It was like I honestly did not think he was going to say that, but it felt like it was coming. He's such a one-trick pony. You could just, what he's going to say before he says that. Like, I could write his speeches for him. It's just reiterating the same thing he said 1,000 times. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
It's going to lower the deficit by $300 billion over the next decade.
Come on, man.
Because it's going to pay less for prescription drugs. And that's on top of The $350 billion will reduce the deficit my first year.
You're a lying dog face pony.
Reduction. And for this,
just because you're spending less than when we spent at the height of the pandemic doesn't make it you being a good little boy. This talking point needs to end. No one calls it out.
Year, $1.5 trillion reduction in the deficit.
It's amazing.
So I don't want to hear.
How did you not spend as much as we were spending when we were telling everyone that they need to shut down? You are incredible.
Hear it anymore about big spending Democrats.
Oh my God.
We spend, but we pay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the Democrats spend, but we pay. Oh yeah, who's paying? Huh? Who's paying, Joe? Who's paying? You? Doubt it. Obama and his nice little estate in Hawaii, is he paying?
Gentlemen, the last guy had this job.
Oh, here we go.
Let me put it this way.
Yes,
this bill finally delivers on a promise that I've made to the American people for decades. But Republicans choose not to join us. In the end,
Okay, he just said Republicans choose not to join us. He just got done, like I was calling him out, saying, name a Republican that was on this with you, because there isn't any. And he was saying he reached across the aisle and he worked with Republicans. Now he's saying Republicans didn't work with him. Which one is it, Joe? Huh?
Every single Republican we're going to be voted against.
Corn Pop needs his new hustle. Even Dems aren't buying that. I know they're not. That's why they will not. If he tries to run in 2024, I don't know. They might try to push him away. They might really have some kind of mental thing or something, or they'll say that Joe decided he did enough work and he doesn't have to be president anymore or something. I don't know.
Historic law. So it fell to the Democrats to meet this moment and deliver for the American people. And that's exactly what we did. We pay more for our prescription drugs than any developed nation in the world. Let me say that again.
Why do we pay more for prescription drugs than any developed nation in the world? Because we create them all.
In America, we pay more for prescription drugs than any developed nation in the
world. And they steal them.
And there's no rhyme or reason to that. For years, so many of us have been trying to fix this problem. But for years, Big Pharma blocked Medicare from negotiating lower drug practices. Christ.
Mr. Big Pharma himself, I'm sure, will take another nice paycheck from any of his sponsors.
But not this year.
Not this year.
This year, the American people won, and Big Pharma lost. Now.
Yeah, Big Pharma. This year, Big Pharma has made more money in the last 2 years than they have made in their entire lifetime. Yes, you are destroying Big Pharma, Biden. Thank you. I don't know if you've noticed any sporting event, any news broadcasting system, but you should pay attention to who is sponsoring it. Is it a mom and pop shop down the street that got shut down due to the pandemic? No.
Medicare will have the power to do what so many Democrats and Republicans in the past talked about doing. Lower prescription drug prices. And seniors will see their out-of-pocket costs for the prescription drugs limited to $2,000 a year. They cannot pay a penny more than $2,000 a year, no matter how high their drug costs are, whether for cancer drugs or other drugs that can raise up to $70,000, $80,000 a year based on need. A maximum yearly cost of $2,000. And if you're on Medicare and you have diabetes, your cost of your insulin will be $35 for every insulin.
No one talks about how that came to pass, do they? About Trump passing a law to make it easier for over-the-counter? You know, when you're a politician and whoever's in power, you just take credit for anything good from the previous administration. I day trade, and pharmaceuticals are booming in profits. You day trade? Hey, I day trade sometimes. I day trade on Friday, and I day traded like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Options. I'm an options girl.
And we wanted to cut the cost for insulin for everyone, including the hundreds of thousands of children with type 1 diabetes. I'll not ask for a show of hands, but I bet a lot of you out there have diabetes or you're...
What? I bet a lot of you fat people out there have diabetes. I'm not asking for a show of hands, but any of you fat people out there have diabetes? What the frick, dude?
Children do. But Republicans blocked limiting that cost to $35 for children.
No, they made it
only
happen,
costs
but okay, sure.
$10 for this prescription to be made and packaged. $10.
By subsidized by.
And drug companies charge families about 30 times more than that for every vial of insulin. Look.
Boo drugs. Oh, all of a sudden the party that's like pro-pharmaceutical is anti-pharmaceutical again. Well, I can't keep up with the flip-floppiness. I just can't. I wish there was some kind of consistency with you people. Hey. What you mean, you people?
I'm deadly earnest about this. Imagine being a mom or a dad. Looking at your child, you know the needs of insulin to live. And not having the money to pay for it. Not a joke. Think about it. Think about what you'd think about.
Oh my God, relax. Think about what you would think about. What is
children do? Look, I'm deadly earnest about this. Imagine being a mom.
Oh my God. This Sunday, wait for Biden to step in the ring. He's gonna have some words for you.
Or a dad. Looking at your child, you know the needs of insulin.
This Sunday, meet Biden in the ring. He's going to tell you to think about what you think about.
To live. And not having the money to pay for it. Not a joke. Think about it. Think about what you'd think about.
You think about what you think about. Or meet me in the ring this Saturday, 10 p.m. Be there or be square. God. When Trump wins, us traders are going to make bank on the market. Oh, I know. I'm going to be playing calls all day. You and I have a lot in common. We're both comedians. Hey, you call me a comedian? Thank you. Oh, my God. I'm going to tell my mom. Mom, this guy called me a comedian. We were both comedians and we were both in the day trade. You got to be. Well, you got to be a little crazy to be in the day trading. Am I right? And we both are. So, amen to that.
At the time. Think about how you'd feel if you didn't have the insurance and didn't have the money. It's wrong. It's not who we are, and we're going to fix that too.
This is like Biden being angry is so funny to me. We're going to fix that too. I'm sick of this shit. Like, whoa. Relax, dude. Freaking relax. Lay off the Red Bull today, all right? Just lay it off, man. I'll fight anyone in there. I'm ready to fight every single MAGA Republican out there. This is the look he's going for today. He's going for the get off my lawn look. That's Biden right now. Hey, get off my lawn, you stupid, stinky kids. Quit skateboarding around my car.
We're going to come back at it and lower the cost of life-saving insulin for children and families as well. Last year, a family of four saved $2,400 through the American Rescue Plan.
Last year, people did not save that, Biden. That is a total lie. I love old man rage, and the older the fun. I know, me too. Seriously, nothing gets me more excited than when I watch like a 90-year-old man get really, really angry and then threaten to fight you. You're just like, stop, dude. Just stop. Please stop. I don't want to actually hurt you. Please go away. Do you want to go? Oh my God, relax.
Which I've signed into law. And this new law also locks in place the one we passed a month ago.
Okay.
The one we're here for today.
Oh, okay.
It's going to lower health care premium costs for families.
For who?
Who get their coverage under the Affordable Care Act.
Okay, so and then everyone else's their premiums can skyrocket. Dope.
About $800 a year. Folks.
For
decades. Climate deniers have blocked any meaningful progress.
Again, Mr. Climate Denier, going after climate deniers. Again, I can't reiterate that. I can't say this enough. After this speech, he gets in his plane to, instead of pushing an absentee ballot, flies all the way to Delaware to vote in person for 1 hour, flies all the way back to D.C. Mr. Climate Change cares so much about the climate. God. And again, don't tell me he's a good guy. Don't tell me he's like a decent human being. He's a liar. And then everyone pushed back. Trump.
And delaying, and just pretended there wasn't a climate crisis. Remember back in 1989, I introduced the legislation about climate. No one wanted to hear it. I mean, no.
Yeah, Biden was the first one to talk about climate change. I remember. He's just like trying to take. This is his speech to take credit for everything in the world.
Not many wanted to hear it.
Nobody wanted to hear it. I was on the cutting edge.
Nobody can deny there's a crisis. I have flown in a helicopter with governors of 5 states.
Wow.
This last year over the fires and the burning tundra. The burning forest.
The burning tundra. Yes, swaths of frozen tundra in South Dakota and Wisconsin has been on. What? That's not a thing? Okay, I just made that up.
And guess what?
Chicken butt.
More land, Gov, has been destroyed in the United States of America than the entire your state of New Jersey from top to bottom. That's how much land has been wiped out. And we have drought. The Colorado River is becoming a stream. So much is happening that nobody can doubt. Nobody can any longer doubt that the climate crisis is real.
George is getting upset.
To respond to it. But folks, nobody ever in history.
Not nobody.
This year, the American people won. The climate deniers lost. And the Inflation Reduction Act takes the most aggressive action to combat climate, as the speaker said, ever.
What was that? No climate denier can take. What are you talking about, dude? Here we go with these baseless claims again. I'm just saying these things. And you better agree with it, because if you don't, you're a denier. I'm just going to start doing that now. If people just like disagree with me on my podcast, I'm just going to call them a Derek O'Shea denier. These are the facts. You're being a Derek O'Shea denier, okay? You're denying me. And don't you deny me.
Over $360 billion. Okay. Folks, it offers working families thousands of dollars in energy savings with tax credits and rebates to buy new and efficient appliances. Weatherize their homes, saving hundreds of dollars a year because they're not going to have the heat seeking out through the windows or doors or the air conditioning. It provides tax credits for purchasing heat pumps, rooftop solar, electric stoves.
What if you live in a 1-bedroom apartment? How's my, solar gonna happen? No? Nah.
And ovens and so much more.
He's like, you get all these tax credits for things that you need to buy. I know you don't necessarily need to buy them, but think of all the savings. Think of the savings. If you go out and spend $60,000 on a Tesla today, and you get rid of your old piece of crap Civic with 300,000 miles on it, think of the savings on gas. Think about it. You're going to save. Well, you're going to be in debt, but you're going to figure it out, and you're going to be grateful for electricity.
Gives a tax credit up to $7,500 to buy a new electric vehicle or a fuel cell vehicle made in America.
That's right. You get a tax credit on the American taxpayer dime to buy an electric vehicle. Oh, you can't afford one, and only people that with money can afford one? Oh, well, they still get a tax credit that you're going to end up paying for, too. You see how it works? It's a circle. It's a circle. Oh, my God.
And for the first time, you can get a tax credit if you buy a used electric vehicle.
That's right. Think about it. And you broke-ass people can buy it. Oh, you can't? You're really getting by? Who cares about poor people anyways? I'm here for the upper middle class, the rich. Only.
American automobile companies and American laborers are committing billions of dollars and a great deal of hard work and engineering.
Penny, what up? Penny Santana. Santana.
To make electric vehicles and batteries because of the infrastructure law. We're going to have 500,000 1,000 electric charging stations on our highway.
Penny with the old school Instagram picture for an avatar. Shout out to the old school Instagram. Remember when Instagram was actually cool and it was just photos and you could like enjoy it? Now it's just like, wait, are you guys trying to become TikTok all of a sudden? I don't understand what's going on with Instagram, but here we go with Joey B.
Highways across America installed by the IBEW.
I bet.
And they're all going to be made in America.
Yeah, get an electric car while California power grid fails. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you've seen some of those photos with people from in California that are charging their electric vehicle with gas-powered generators. I don't know if that's a meme. I don't know if that's a joke. But the fact that that's even a possibility is totally insane. And I have family members that live in California, and they're like, oh, yeah, we have blackouts all the time. It happens in the hood all the time. I'm like, okay, so this is like a normal thing? That's what a third world country has, right? You guys are totally okay with it, and you think Gavin Newsom is the answer for America? Right. Cool. Got it. You guys, I don't know about your brain cells, but they're not there.
This law will create good-paying union jobs.
Yeah.
Increase energy security. By the way, I keep talking about union jobs. I'm not anti-business. I'm a capitalist.
No, you're not. You can't be for unions and be a capitalist. I'm sorry. That's not how it works, Joey B. A bag of donuts. I'm for the free market. What? But hey, if they want to be a union, they're a union. If the government needs to subsidize, the government needs to subsidize. If the government needs to bail out these companies because they're poorly run and we tell them to go to green energy and no one's buying green cars because they can't afford it, that is up to the taxpayer. These are things, okay? I'm for business. I'm a capitalist guy. I'm for the free market. I like when the government gets their hands in everything and makes these companies go the way we want them to go. Yes, evil. I'm a capitalist guy, though. I'm for capitalism. I'm for free market. Okay. Also, we just put up, a ton more IRS agents to audit the rich people that have CPAs. You don't have a CPA because you're poor. We're gonna get you.
But here's the deal. The reason I push
if you're not laughing, you're
everyone
crying.
to use union labor is because they're the most skilled labor in the world.
Old man cough.
At the end of the day, no, let's hear this out for real.
For real. For real.
Pay a little more to get the best, but it lasts a lot longer.
That's what she said.
More certain.
I'm sorry. You got to pay a little bit more to get the best. You know what I'm saying? Lasts a little longer.
That nobody else can do. And by the way, when I hear people say Biden, you're talking about union. And
what is happity hap? What up, Papa? What it is, son?
What about all these people go to college?
My workout partner is meeting me at the gym soon. They can wait.
Guess what? I being a IBW member that introduced me.
He's got IBS.
5 years of apprenticeship. 5 years, like going back to college plus a year. 5 years. You're getting paid, but you're not getting paid.
But you're not getting laid. You're getting paid, but you're not getting laid. And that's the problem, people. Get locked in that train again. Hey, get out of that train, bro. Get out of the train.
A regular salary takes 5 years to qualify. So, folks, let's give them credit where they deserve. They're not only good at what they do, they work like hell to get to be able to do what they do.
The golf clap is what really gets me going. Look, folks.
And this legislation is going to help us triple wind power. Unleash American manufacturing.
We're going to kill so many birds.
Electric vehicles.
Think of all the birds we're going to murder.
Just for environmental justice and create clean energy jobs and apprenticeships in frontline, fence line communities that have been smothered by the legacy pollution. Tommy, Senator Carper. He's
going to talk about he got cancer again.
A lot of people out here inside. And one woman said, "I'm from Delaware. Remember Route 9." Tommy.
All right. The comedian Kyle Kinane just texted me because I've been trolling him. Okay, good. But I'm going to leave him hanging and let him know he's not worth my time. He's trashed him. Who is Kyle Kinane? See, I don't know who he is either. I'm going to look him up. Kyle Kinane. Hey, his name popped up. No way, that guy? I know that guy. I don't know his, like, comedy. Whoa, Junior's cooler than me, man. Dropping names over here. Humble brag. Say much? You know what else triples wind? 2 words. Baked beans. Frankenbeans. Frankenbeans. God, sorry.
Nine's about. It's one of those fence line communities where all of the pollution, all those factories. You know, I grew up in a little town called Claymont, Delaware.
Talk about your
when I was
cancer.
a kid.
Say it.
And it's right on the Pennsylvania state line. We're the largest refineries in the world.
Say it.
More refineries and in that area than anywhere, including Houston at the time. Mom would drive me to school going to 3rd grade at Holy Rosary. She'd turn on, when there was a frost on the window, literally, you'd turn on the windshield wiper and there'd be an oil slick in the window.
Kyle's trash.
That's why we had the highest cancer rates of any state in the nation for a long time.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us you had cancer again.
They're the people. They're the people under my leadership are going to get.
Is Kyle like a super leftist comedian? I just don't like, I don't mind liberal comedians or Democrat comedians as long as they're not like leftist and they're not like trying to police people and troll people and like every joke is about Trump and you're just like, okay, I get it. Trump sucks. Like, talk about something else. He's not even president right now, so we're just relax.
Get help first. They're going to be the people helped first. And look, this is about a future made in America.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to make a pre-workout. Don't judge me with that. I know that was like a bro thing to say, but some days you just need it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep this speech going in the meantime. I hope it's not super... Actually, I'm going to do my commercial, and I'll be right back. I'm going to make a drink, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, if you want to support my show, you go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. I'd greatly appreciate it. You can support my show by $3 a month, be a member, or if you just want to give me some individual support, which I greatly appreciate, you can go ahead and do that down there, boy. I would greatly appreciate it. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. The guy sucks, but you should support him. I'm back. I know it went blank. I find it hilarious that Joe has the gal to say under my leadership. I do too. Imagine actually believing he's a good leader.
And I mean it sincerely. For decades, the biggest corporations in America fought to block a fair
That looks
tax
like
code.
Brandon Schwab.
Under my predecessor.
Derek, how in the Christ did you get
$2
Alex
trillion
Jones on your Did you get Alex Jones on your show? What? Are you talking about my commercial break guy?
Not a penny of which was paid for.
That might be my next character, Alex Jones.
1% of the American people and the biggest corporations. 55 of the Fortune 500 companies made $40 billion and then 2020 and didn't pay a single penny in federal income tax.
Because of your tax system, your tax codes. Not because they're evil corporation. It's because of the codes you write and they get away with. We don't ever want to have an actual conversation about tax codes, and it drives me nuts. They'll always get away with it. It's the people like you and me that can't afford CPAs or don't have enough money to have accountants and crap like that. We're the ones that end up paying, not them. Dude, okay, but for real, Papa, Alex Jones coming on my show would be a dream come true. That guy is, say what you will about him, he is the most entertaining dude ever. Like, he is insane. And I could keep up with him too. I could go, like, it's crazy. The biggest corporations are responsible for putting your party in power. Exactly. Made in America, LOL.
Even though some of the biggest companies in America flooded capital with lobbyists and money.
Maybe Joe should go grab a power workout drink as well. Maybe one or two. Yeah. He needs one. I need one after. Today was a long day. Teslas are made in Germany, I believe. No. They're made here, China.
They lost, and the people.
Because Elon Musk isn't a douchebag compared to like all these other people who like wink and nod and pretend like they're all about green energy. But he's about to whisper for us, and it gets me really going.
2020 and didn't pay a single penny in federal income tax. But this year, even though some of the biggest companies in America flooded capital with lobbyists and money, they lost and the people won. No corporation will have to pay, they'll have to pay a minimum tax of 15%, just 15%. The days of billion-dollar companies paying zero in taxes is over, I promise.
Blame the corporations that fortified you, exactly.
Folks, let's be crystal clear about something.
You haven't been it all night.
I said when I was running, I said when I got elected, and I've said every month since then, no one earning less than $400,000 a year in America will pay a single penny more in federal taxes as long as I'm the president. That's a commitment I made in the campaign, a commitment I'm keeping. This law is going to make a big difference for middle-class and working-class families. Finally, giving them a little bit, as my dad would say again, breathing room.
God, he said it again?
It's a big step forward for the country. But it won't surprise you to hear that many Republicans are saying, what's their platform when you ask them? You hear the Republican leader saying, undo everything we've done. The Republican leader in the House has already said the number one economic priority if they win back the House is to repeal
to balance the budget
Reduction Act.
Why?
Number one.
Spending.
The guy in charge of electing Republicans in the Senate, Rick Scott of Florida, proposed a plan. I wish I had.
So that's why you signed a law to hire heavily armed 87,000 exactly. To go after those big corporations that'll get away with their taxes like they've always have. Yes, government's answer to everything is like, we're not doing anything very well. Let's just make the government bigger. In absence of logic, the people will submit to authority. Oh, love that. 100%. That's called controlled chaos. So Dems need more chaos. That might be the comment of the night. Nice job, Junior. 100%. 100%. That's why they constantly redefine words. That's why they constantly question. You know, it's the original sin. Did God really say that? The devil to, Adam and Eve. It's like, is that what he said? Is that what he really said? So that's why they constantly want you unbalanced so that you look for authority figures. You look towards foundational truths, and they're saying, oh, the Republicans are the liars, and what you've been told all your life is a lie. Come to us and share. We will share the truths of the good word with you.
Had enough copies to hand, but go online and look at it. I really mean this. It's serious because they're going to make it hard for you to believe. Propose a plan requiring Congress to vote on the future of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid every 5 years. It's up for reauthorization. And I want to remind you, you paid for your Social Security. Every single paycheck from the time you were a kid, you paid for it. So every 5 years, Congress gets to vote, change, cut, reduce, or eliminate the entirety of Social Security.
How about I stop paying for Social Security? How about that? Maybe we could elect out when we're young and then reap what we sow, and then maybe it would be up to me as an adult to look after myself later in life instead of you taking on that. I don't need to hand the money to you that I pay taxes on, give to you, and then you give it back to me. Like this, the government is like your parents are like,
Okay, what money did you make for the weekend? Okay, we're going to take that money. Okay, and I'll give it back to you when you're old enough to have it, okay?
The day I realized pro wrestling was fake was the day I realized everything was a lie. Oh man, that's depressing. I'm sorry, Papa. I'm here for you, brother.
And it's not just Social Security. Everything as Senator Scott wants, everything in the federal budget to be up for 5 years. Nothing permanent. Nothing. That includes veterans benefits, Pell Grants, everything else. Look it up. It's hard to believe. I would think I'm exaggerating if I didn't look at it myself. And then along comes
I'm gonna
Senator
spit out
Ron
everywhere.
Johnson from Wisconsin.
Boo, Republicans suck.
God love him. He thinks 5 years is too long to wait. He wants to put the vote Social Security.
This is supposed to be a party about the Inflation Reduction Act bill and how great it is. That's why they had James Taylor playing that stupid song because James Taylor sucks. But now it's everything he's doing is a campaign rally. I mean, I remember when like Trump would kind of do stuff like this, and CNN and MSNBC would lose their mind saying, "You're not allowed to do stuff like this, President, on the property of the White House. I remember you're not allowed to do this stuff. It's actually against the law. You're not allowed to do it." And you're like, oh, when Biden does it, it's okay. The Dems will seriously crank up the chaos closer to 2024, 100%. That's why we're reducing our petroleum reserves right now. And then once after the election is over, you prepare for yourself for a level of chaos. Make sure you have food supply back just in case. It's sad to see Joey try to give people nicknames. Oh my God, I know. You're like, dude, you're in no position to hand out nicknames because there's too many to name for you.
Medicare on the chopping block every single year. Let me remind you all again, you paid for Social Security. You paid for Medicare. It's taken out of every single one of your paychecks.
Long Kong Johnson, bitch, please.
These guys never give up. Well, guess what? We're not going to give up either.
Yeah, we're going to kill him. What? Okay, relax, dude.
We're often told there's nothing you can get done in Washington. Too often, we confuse noise with substance. Too often we confuse...
Wow. The freaking irony of that statement. We confuse noise with substance. Oh, my God. Get a mirror, bro. Get a mirror.
Setbacks with defeat. Too often we hand the biggest microphones to the critics and cynics who delight in declaring failure.
It's me.
Those committed to making real progress through the hard work of government.
I delight in failure. I want you to fail. Because if you fail, then my life gets worse. What kind of logic is that? Biden needs to get Trump to write his next speech because I'm not feeling it. Who was Trump's speechwriters? It wasn't Stephen... I don't remember. Stephen, he just got raided by FBI, I think. Stephen Miller.
Making progress in every country as big and complicated as ours
you put my shoes on.
Difficult. It is not easy, and it never has been. But I know with conviction, commitment, and patience, progress does come, and it's coming now.
Well, it is part of the new protocol
and when
now.
It does come, people's lives are better off. All people. The future becomes brighter. The nation is transformed. Look what we already accomplished together. The historic American Rescue Plan has taken us from economic crisis to economic resurgence. Jobs are up. People are back to work. Since we came to office, we've created nearly...
People are working 2 jobs because of me. The jobs are doing great.
10 million jobs, a record for any presidency up to this point. 3.7% unemployment, nearly a 50-year low in this country. More small business credit than any time before in our history.
Oh, my God.
American manufacturers.
We're still doing that. We're still doing that line. I've created more jobs. People are working. You mean people were told that they weren't allowed to work and their businesses were shut down, and now people are going back to work and you're taking the credit for that? Great job, Joey.
It's coming back. 6,680 manufacturing. Where's it written that says America can't lead in manufacturing? Where is that written?
Yeah, make America great again.
And guess what? For all the criticism I got and the help you gave me for gas prices, they're down more than $1.30.
Oh, I thought you weren't in charge of that.
Since the start of the summer.
I thought you had nothing to do with that.
We're getting other prices down as well. But we have more to do. But we're getting there. We passed the once-in-a-generation infrastructure law that's going to modernize the roads, bridges, ports, airports.
All right, he's almost done with this speech. But, guys, I've enjoyed this show. I've had a good time with this show. Oh, my God. My freaking green screen. I've enjoyed the show. I've had so much fun in the show. Well, God, Junior, you're crazy. I got to go. This is a way longer show than I planned. I thought I was going to do like an hour show. It turned into 2 hours and 13 minutes. So if you missed the beginning of the show, rewind. There's so much we discussed, from Chinese agents infiltrating Twitter to what else did we talk about? What a VPN is. We talked about all kinds of stuff. They raid Mike Lindell. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, see bones. But you tell me if they did. But I've enjoyed this night. I'm going to go work out. My workout partner is texting me. Where you at, dude? I'm like, freaking relax. Lay off the tea, bro. I hope you guys have a good night. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I freaking love every single one of you. You guys are my favorite people on the planet. Great show. Thanks for the funny. Hey, I appreciate that. You guys are seriously my favorite people on the planet. It means so much to me. They did? Oh, my God. They rated Mike Lindell the pillow guy. It's just, I know he's a little kooky. He says some kooky stuff, but like, it's just, who cares? These people are nuts, man. These people are nuts. I don't do rewind fees. Good. Don't be a part of that. But I appreciate every single one of you. I freaking love you guys. You guys make me do this because I enjoy hanging out with every single one of you. Make sure to get in the chat. If you see any trolls in my comments, make sure to give them hell. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Love you guys. Bye.